Hi. How's it going? It's been a while. I have some important, like, administrative stuff to mention right now. So let me just immediately just start all of the stuff and all of the things. Hello, Lark. Hello, Mati. Okay, so I don't know. Okay, this is going to be a bit of a story. I don't know if any of you remember. It's been like almost 2 years. But The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom Scenic Route was one of my first forays into like major chat interaction-y type stuff. And a sort of step forward in my ambition to do things. And part of that was that I made a Twitch subscriber goal where I would do a thing if we got to a certain number of Twitch subscribers on Twitch, the website where I stream on Twitch. And because I and internet television as a whole is a very small like group of people and not particularly large or in charge, we never actually reached that goal for any of the heyday of me playing this game. And then I sort of distanced myself from it and played other things, and nothing ever became of it. But then, approximately 1 month ago, as part of my 4-year anniversary of streaming milestone, we hit that subscriber goal, despite the fact that basically no one even remembered it existed. But I remembered. And now, I gotta, before the month is over and the subscriber count goes back down because it expires, I gotta fulfill my obligation, even if nobody ever really cared. And my obligation is to go talk to Pura at all. So, that's what we're doing today. We're gonna go see Pura. Oh, speaking of the anniversary stream and this game, was anyone gonna tell me that they couldn't hear the game at all during the anniversary stream? Because while I was setting up the audio here, I realized that there was like different considerations to be made, and I don't remember if I actually altered them correctly to stream this game with audio during the anniversary stream. So I'm just sitting here asking like, wait a minute, was that entire section of the stream completely silent with regards to the game? And I have no idea. And so I'm just doing a little audit of chat. Can you hear anything ever at all where you could have realized something was wrong and told me a month ago? Just wondering, just wondering. But yeah, aside from that, we got a mission to do. Those of you who are regulars to Tears of the Kingdom Scenic Route, which is weird considering the heyday of that stream was 2 years ago, may notice that I have not turned on the obligation channel point redemptions on Twitch if you're watching live. And this is deliberate. The Pura thing supersedes everything right now, so as much as you might want me to sit down and do a little bit of cooking, we do not have the authority to get distracted from this goal. This trumps all other goals. We gotta go talk to Pura. That's not to say I can't procrastinate by walking slowly and atmospherically, which I'm willing to do. We're always so rushing in Scenic Route that we're not really stopping and enjoying the scenery. So I thought for the time being, we just walk a little slowly. I'm mostly just vaguely heading in the direction of Hyrule Castle because Pura is at Lookout Landing and we gotta go to Lookout Landing. That's the goal. Unfortunately, my opponents have decided to put a massive cliff in the way. Ah, yes, this must be the giant chasm upon which the, like, Forgotten Temple's over there. I remember this place, just geographically. I'm vaguely familiar with how Hyrule is organized. So we have two options. We could climb down this cliff and climb up the other side, or we can go around. I think for the added challenge and the fact that we don't really interact with rough terrain unless absolutely necessary, it'd be more interesting if we just went down here for now. Alright, careful. We really are back in the swing of things, huh? It's been several months, I think approximately 9-ish since the last episode of this. And in addition to that, the heyday was more closer to 2 years ago. But we're back. Here to finish unfinished business. But I suppose... not really. It's new business. It's an old promise, but the promise got invoked recently. Do you think it's safe to drop from this distance? Yes. Because we've got a bit of a journey, and that is kind of the point. I guess I should just start rambling about something. I guess I'll ramble on the notion of this series and me not having done it in a long time. Oh, there's the temple, I see. I didn't expect it to be this far down. But maybe I'm just more north than I was expecting. Oh. Okay. Sure. At the very least, this makes it easier to get back up. Good thing I got health insurance. Ferry Tour Cruise, as usual, provides decent employee benefits. And I am a major supplier of transportation solutions and tourism for the local Korok population. So I get, like, good health benefits. Free ferries. Dental. I don't know how health benefits work at, like, jobs. Now, we could ascend, but let's just climb. It's not really an ultra handy kind of day. It's a relaxing kind of day. For relaxation. I'm certain I'll give up, but because we have exactly one goal and no other goal, I kind of want to make that goal the goal. And again, I may be running into problems immediately. There might be a shallow enough piece of land over there. I'm not really someone who likes to keep things unfinished. I have a very strong sense of completion obligation for particular things that I start in a public setting, like the stream series. And for basically everything, I don't really feel satisfied until it's actually done. Even if I, like, officially be like, okay, I'm just gonna stop this, I don't want to stop it. Deep inside, I'm like, I gotta finish this. I stop it by finishing it. So even some of the hyper-obscure stream series that I've just sort of left abandoned for a long time, like Battlestar Galactica Deadlock and this, I never really consider the series cancelled. I just consider it on hiatus. And maybe that's an irresponsible thing to do. I know that hit video game corporation Valve Software gets a lot of flack for never officially, like, just stating, no, we're not working on that anymore, and just keeping quiet about all the trips and turns that all happen. But I don't want to just abandon this stuff. And so I don't. I leave it open. I always leave it open as a possibility. Though, those old series that I've sort of burned out on are obviously not the priority one that I would ever choose to do on a stream. Basically, every stream I do, I just sort of prep and I'm like, okay, what stream do I want to do today? And I just sort all the things I can think of, and I'm like, oh, that's the one I want to do the most, so I do that one. And for the old series that I'm a little burnt out, and then there's that momentum of like, it's been a while, it's sort of awkward to go back to it, what if people are like, what the heck is this, who are you? It detracts from the appeal of doing it again in an unfortunate spiral of permanent hiatus. Let me just lightning these jumps real quick. I need like a chump weapon. All my weapons are too good. I just need like a stick to hit somebody with. This will have to do. I asked for a stick to hit somebody with, and that's what I got. Get some free spoils of war. I do think there is room to revisit a lot of the older series and get them working in like an even spread, especially because I'm streaming a lot more frequently than I used to. That said, in the immediate right now moment, I'm a little distracted by one series in particular that's basically taking up all of my focus and interest. Greg Tech New Horizons. So whenever I have like a shallower day of just like, I don't know what I'm doing, that's what I choose to do. Why haven't I beaten this shrine? What was the reason for this? Normally when I come across a shrine, I beat it. That's what I do with a shrine. So what's this? Oh, right. I remember. This was the tricky one. Because we had this ice cube, which we could selectively melt to put on that box. And that would open the gate that way. But the problem was, in order to get up there, you're expected to use the paraglider. But we don't have that, as per the rules of the scenic route. But I have technology now. I'm willing to bet I can solve this now. Oh. No, I cannot. They won't let me cheat in objects. I can cheat in weapons. If we imagine getting like... Yeah. If we could imagine maybe doing some cool rocket jump thing, then maybe there's a hope. let's evaluate some of our options here. If I ascend into the spikes, they won't let me ascend into the spikes. If I fall on the spikes, can I like damage through the spikes? Let's try it. Okay, what's the best food we have? It's mostly stuff gifted to us by our good old buddy from the sign department. Alright, I'll drink the hearty elixir. What's the recipe for this thing? I just want to know. Okay, lizard and jelly. Good to know. Okay, we drink this. We go. Endure it. Endure. Endure. Endura. Okay, that's not gonna work. That'd work, but I'd like refresh. Okay, ice cube secured. Now let's take the panel, glue it onto the ice. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is we need to get the ice cube onto here and then slide down. So I'm gonna do this, hold it here for a bit, then move it back, get on top of it using Ascend, and then rewind time with Recall to put it over the spikes again, thus allowing it to slide down and me ride down at the same time. This ultimately supplies us with the secret ingredient we need to solve this shrine. Almost called it a quest. Shielding for our ice, some proper insulation so that it may sit on the button and open the door. We've done it. The first success of a major shrine revisit. We won. The mochi was left in the oven for far too long. Beautiful. The hardest part of a stream is starting a stream. You have all these doubts and worries about, like, is it gonna go well? Am I gonna have a good time? If I'm not having a good time, will that reflect in the quality of the stream and other people won't have a good time? It's a giant whirlwind of concern and worry. But almost every time, when I actually get to doing the stream itself, it always just goes fine. It's just a good time. It's pleasant. We make our own fun. Whatever the situation, whatever the game, mostly whatever the game. It's not about having the fun from whatever the game is dealing you. It's an interactive piece of creative media. You make the fun. And if you're good at having fun, then you're good at making fun. As long as you hold that, like, sense of whimsy and joy and silliness that you can go into a scenario and find some joy and pleasantry in it, you can have a good time. Sometimes I feel like having a good time or like enjoying something is a skill. Kinda. Stepping away from games and maybe into like a movie critique kind of way. There are people who will go and watch a movie and just be like, well, this stinks, and not enjoy it. There's a sort of poisoning of the pleasantness of it if... I guess a good example is if you're like a big science fan, if you watch a sci-fi movie and... Or even like a hard science movie, but there are like mistakes, like, I don't know, the space shuttle going to Mars or something. Doing something that isn't low Earth orbit because the space shuttle can't actually get there. Or like it being in space with the giant orange tank and whatnot. And there's a tendency for you to go like out of the immersion of the movie because it is unrealistic in a way very apparent to you. And in that way, I think that the ability to suspend disbelief anyway, and just sort of enjoy the movie, in the moment of watching the movie, you can obviously critique it how much as you want afterwards. But, like, to enjoy what is in the movie, I think, requires some nondescript ability that I don't have a good name for right now. Which, if you have it, gives you the ability to enjoy it more. And by this weird through line, this hypothetical situation I've invented, one could argue that there is a correlation between some unnamed skill I'm describing and being able to enjoy a thing. Which therefore concludes to me that there is some unnamed skill of enjoying things. And that enjoying things is therefore is a matter of skill. It is, in a sense, a skill issue. And I like to think I have this skill. I might be highly biased in that, because as much as I tend to enjoy a lot of things that other people, or that I see other people complain greatly about, it might just because I cherry pick the things I do experience to a very small collection of the things that I'm pretty confident I would have enjoyed anyway. Examples. Homeworld 3. I liked Homeworld 3. I played Homeworld 3 when it came out and I had a good time. I know that they've improved the gameplay experience, just the balance of all of the units, and overhaul the sort of armor and weapon interactions to make it be more nice and smooth. Competitive multiplayer has gotten bigger and more maneuverable in scale and movement, respectively. And that people really did not like the story. And that it was sort of like a major deal breaker ruiner for a lot of people. But I liked it. And I don't think me liking it is a matter of me being too dumb or foreign to the situation to realize the problems. I think I understand the problems, but they are not getting in the way of me enjoying it. I would like to say I am not weak for liking things other people don't like. I am strong for liking them. I think we're nearing Lookout Landing now. I think that pillar right there is the Lookout Landing watchtower. Actually, I might be wrong. That might be part of the castle. Yeah, I'm thinking that's actually part of the castle. I don't really know where we are relative to the... Okay, I know the castle's right there. I know I'm looking at the castle. I don't really know our compass heading right now. Assuming it's vaguely midday, and we're in the northern hemisphere. Actually, that's a really interesting question. Are we in the northern hemisphere? Does it even make sense to refer to locations around here as having a northern or southern hemisphere? After all, this ain't Earth. I don't know what kind of country Zelda purports to be in. I feel like if you're in a fictional fantasy world, or just any world contrived with a land on ground with a sun that spins, it's going to be vaguely similar to Earth in a few ways. One, almost always the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Two, the setting is almost always in the northern hemisphere. And I don't think these things are ever, like, explicitly stated in whatever storybook or movie or video game you're experiencing. Because those things just seem so natural that people will make those assumptions both in watching and in making whatever the world is. The rises in east, sets in west thing is understandable. That's just ubiquitous for all of Earth. But the northern hemisphere thing, I think, is only such a big secondary attached assumption because almost every single, like, major international producer of media is based in a country in the northern hemisphere. I'm trying to think of what countries would have, like, a international cultural presence that are in the southern hemisphere, and the only ones that are coming to mind immediately are Australia and New Zealand. Maybe some of the other, like, outlying chain islands between Australia and India. I don't actually remember where the equator is on the, like, Asian side of the Eurasian continental chunk. I don't have the best grasp of geography. Wait. Yeah, results include... I suppose I could just... Wait. That's Death Mountain. Death Mountain is north and to the right. Slightly to the right, mostly north of Hyrule Castle. Which means we are very likely north of Hyrule Castle right now. Maybe a little to the west. And that... Why did I do that? Why did I do that? That must be the building to the south of Hyrule Castle, which you walk to from Lookout Landing to do other quest stuff. Which means we're nearly there, and we just gotta circle around this way. I am curious about other fictional worlds that have cool, different, like, fundamental assumptions like that, which are either plot relevant or perhaps more interestingly not plot relevant. I don't remember. I've never actually read this or experienced anything from this media, but I believe there was a story where the lack of existence of the moon was a major plot point. Like, you as a reader just sort of assumed it's there, but then the lack of moon becomes like a plot relevant point to the people inside, and like nobody knows what the moon is. It's just not been a thing. I think it was a novel or novel series of some kind. I don't remember. And like, sure, there are stories where some major thing that everyone assumes is normal is suddenly not there and it's weird to everyone. Like if the moon went missing and nobody noticed for a bit because they're not usually looking at the sky at night, unlike some people. But I'm talking about like where there just wasn't a moon. I think perhaps the simplest foundational example of this is the original Star Wars movie with the two suns. It's such a simple thing. It's never brought up in any like meaningful, like, oh wow, look at that, it's a cool thing. It's just there. Just a natural part of the landscape of the world. And yet to anyone watching the movie, it feels so foreign. So it is not lost on me that we're currently on a cliff. We could dive down to down, make our way forward. I see a recipient of a patron of Ferry Tour Cruise. But I don't see the departure location. I'm gonna hope it's down there so I can just like go down, get the buddy, make him a patron of Ferry Tour Cruise, and experience a good delivery. I'm pretty sure if I go to the arrival station, they will tell me what's up, where I can find my newly assigned route. Ooh, I think the birds were making a nest of some kind. Oh. It's possible this is one I've already done, and this is just the remains of it. I suppose I didn't really think about that. Those tents just stay there. Well, not a problem. We can just keep going. Wait, I think I saw somebody over... Wait, no, they look like they were standing upright normally. I think that's the regular... I'm rediscovering things I've done a long time ago and thinking that I need to do something, but no, I already did. Hey, look at this guy. Just standing on the dock right here. Looking out. Nope. Slapped into the ocean, buddy. You got this one? No, you look like you're just gonna dodge around a bit. There. Hey, buddy, are you here to unlock the secret fishing minigame? Bye-bye to you, too. I assume that's how you greet people. What are we looking at? Ah, that's probably your house. Coming out here to do a little fishing by the riverside. Admiring the the gloom of Hyrule Castle. Currently elevated above the ground somewhat, therefore obstructing your view. I bet you're here to just look at it like, all grumpily, like, wasn't like this in my day. Several in-game weeks ago when the castle was firmly planted on the ground. And now your property value's decreased because the, like, beautiful landscape vista is slightly more obstructed by this, currently more of a skyscraper than usual building. Well, don't you worry. I will have a stern talking to the local zoning authorities. And we will have that zone right there returned thoroughly planted into the little sort of central plateau thing in the middle of a river that it used to be. We'll get that solved for you, buddy. Don't you worry. Local government's on top of things. Is it a conflict of interest that I'm apparently in this narrative structure I just made a part of the local government and also a major provider of transportation? Like, I run the bus services. Because I feel like that opens some kind of conflict of interest. Like, maybe I am pushing legislation through or doing some lobbying for the improvement of my monopoly on transportation services. Is Ferry Tour Cruise actually a corrupt lobbying corporation? I don't know. I have not fleshed out this storyline too much. It doesn't help that Ferry Tour Cruise can be abbreviated as FTC. And people might make metaphorical connections out of that were completely unintentional to me. Doesn't really look much like prison anymore. Maybe that was the prison? These just look like sticks. What goes into the decision of where to put a prison in, like, a medieval-esque town? Like, where do you choose to put that? Does it not matter? Is it really just a case of, well, we need a plot of land big enough to hold all these cells and stuff? Maybe like a big old fence? I suppose you can't really put it anywhere particularly empty, because you need to make sure that you have, like, security staff that can go to their jobs and whatnot. Though I suppose that could just be done on site. You just make the complex a little bigger. But I do think there might be some sort of popular opinion on whether someone wants to live close to a prison. Like, if you go to a house and you want to buy a house and you look at the map of where the house is and it's, like, relatively close to a prison, you might not want to buy that house as much. I can't really imagine someone wanting to buy it more as a result of that. Though I imagine maybe you have a friend or relative that is in prison for some reason, and you want to visit them frequently, so if it's in, like, walking distance of your house, it's very easy to just sort of show up there after your work day is over, swing on by, go to the visiting chamber, and be like, Hey, buddy, check it out. I got a promotion at work, and it's just like a good time. I don't know. And, like, maybe if the prison is one of those sort of, like, rehabilitative prisons where you gotta get, like, those in prison get, like, training for a trade so that when they exit prison they can actually feel like they've gotten progress towards a solid future of not being a criminal anymore, then you probably want it to sort of have similar considerations to where you would put a school, kind of. Vaguely central in terms of logistics and transport. If the prisoners get to go out and, like, do community service a little bit, then you'd want them to be near the community to service it. And I suppose fundamentally, logistics does come into play. You gotta make sure you're getting enough food. Make sure the beds are good. Got, like, decent plumbing for a large population in there. I guess you would just have to work around the logistics of it, and that's always, like, a fundamental restraint when doing anything. Never underestimate the importance of logistics. So many problems that you think of can be reinterpreted or traced to a chain of problems that lead to logistics as a possible way to solve it. World hunger? Well, I mean, I feel like the world's producing enough food. It's a matter that parts of the world have a lot of food, other parts don't. And getting that food from one side to another is complicated. So that's a logistics problem. Go into space? It's a matter of making a vehicle that can transport between one planet to another. That's logistics. Vehicle engineering is a means to solve logistics sometimes. Rocketry is logistics engineering. Warfare? That is like 100% logistics. If you're managing an army, you gotta feed that army, you gotta supply that army, you gotta transport that army from one location to another. The entire notion of flanking and interdiction is all about, like, logistics and logistics sabotage. It's logistics. If, like, all of the government organizations got together and were like, okay, well, one of us has to be, like, the most important government organization out there, I'd personally put my vote on, like, the Postal Service. If we're talking, like, actual, like, a specific country example, let's just do the United States. The United States Postal Service is probably up there in one of the government organizations I would trust the most. Next to that would be the NTSB, which is the government organization that usually investigates, like, major vehicle incidents of, like, plane crashes and stuff, and designs policy changes for airlines and stuff to help make it so that those don't crash anymore. But yeah, if you're dealing with logistics directly, you are dealing with, like, the heart of stuff. Even Scenic Route, with its gameplay restrictions that I've self-imposed, are meant to sort of mimic a more grounded sense of, like, we gotta focus and pay attention to how we're moving from point A to point B, what we're moving with, and all that stuff. It's basically Death Stranding, but in Zelda. Death Stranding, good game. I like it. Looking forward to Death Stranding 2. We'll definitely play that. Don't know if I'll stream it. It's kind of a little bit above my general age rating for these streams. I mean, so is Death Stranding 1, but I played it anyway. I didn't stream it. Quinn streamed it. I was there when he streamed it. He didn't continue it, but he didn't continue streaming much. Alright, we've arrived at Lookout Landing. It's time to accomplish our objective, our directive. Are these free? I can just take these. Oh, nope, Robbie has an opinion. I'm sorry. I apologize. Hey, Robbie. Okay. Well, looks like there's nothing left to do but to do what we're doing. Now, before we actually talk to Pyrrha, the reason I am able to do this at all is because very carefully, very specifically, Pyrrha's the one to give you the paraglider, but Pyrrha only gives you the paraglider if you're about to go into this tower to activate the tower. But that's slightly after the initial conversation. I tried to see if there was a way to activate the tower so you can start using them without getting the paraglider. I failed. I could not figure out a way to do it. But at the very least, we can talk to Pyrrha for what good it's worth. And that is what we're here to do. Moment of truth. I don't know why I'm hyping this up as some big major thing. It's just like a cutscene that a normal person would see approximately 1 hour into the game. A character who's from this prequel and therefore not new. I just thought it'd be funny. Hello, Joshua. How you doing? I'm gonna walk around you so that you're looking this way. How far away can I get? Because Pyrrha is in that building and gets... Must be someone else. Because I'm curious. You shout to bring Pyrrha out here. So if we can figure out how far away we can get you from the door, we can make a reasonable estimate to how loud you're yelling, such that you are being heard. So I'm trying to manipulate your position to be as far away as possible from the door. There appears to be a threshold at which you notice me. It doesn't seem to be like a perfect circle. So if I zigzag back and forth right on the border, you'll walk along here. Okay, so yeah, you're there. If I walk over here, you get slightly further away. In a sort of compound. And you'll sort of... You turn around pretty quickly, so this isn't gonna work. I'm gonna say that this distance is enough. Let's do this. Hello, Joshua. How you doing?
Oh.
I have a name, you know. Unless, like, it's a title. Is there, like, one swordsman? There she is. You also have a funny helmet.
Okay. Now where have you been?
Many places.
Blinky, you're not a ghost, are you?
No, that's Dewey. Though I can understand why you get confused. We're both kind of infectious.
That looks interesting.
Yeah, it's a hand.
Phew. One step at a time. What exactly happened?
Well, I hope you have 19 instances of 3 hours, because I can summarize it pretty quickly. Here's a recap of the plot, in case you were curious about the plot of this game, which I've been ignoring.
So when you and Princess Zelda go beneath Hyrule Castle, you discover a mysterious mummy which suddenly reanimates. Then, Zelda falls into a fissure and vanishes. That must have been when the castle rose and the ruins fell. Then, later, you wake up on a sky island, saved by the arm that was stuck to the mummy. You get the Pura pad from an unusual creature, and learn that your new arm belonged to someone named Rauru. The Master Sword disappears. You hear the princess's voice and find your way here.
That does seem to be the gist of it. There's several hours where I'm exploring all over the nation of Hyrule, but maybe you don't need to know about that. I've just been doing some... I've opened a transportation company. I'm now the head operator of Ferry Tour Cruise. Pretty good.
What? What?
Well, yeah, I mean, that started at the beginning.
Ah.
Yep, we talk sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Aha.
Yes.
New person. Also everyone else. Great. Well, mission accomplished, huh? We did it. Okay, now the question I want to know is how far can I push this? I'm gonna save the game. I have saved the game. And the gist of this is because I don't remember how far I can push this. Basically, I want to progress this quest line as far as I can until I can't anymore without forcing myself to get the paraglider. Because I do not want a paraglider, because I do not want to open even the possibility that I accidentally use it. If I could just, like, forcefully unequip it when I get it, that would be ideal, but not always possible. Possibly not even possible. So, let's go find the search team up at the castle, talk to the Taz, and if everything goes catastrophically wrong, I'll just reload a previous save. But I'm pretty sure we're in the clear so long as the tower activation cutscene does not occur. Because when that occurs, we'll be stuck in an area where if we talk to Pyrrha, Pyrrha will give us the paraglider, and if we try to leave, Pyrrha will be like, hey, what the heck are you doing? Come back. So it's gonna be a nice little game of chicken. I think we can talk to Haas. I think we can come back to the area. What I want to know is if we can go into the chamber underneath Hyrule. Like if we can... There is a cave system that connects Lookout Landing's emergency shelter. Well, more accurately, the well in Lookout Landing, to the underside of Hyrule Castle. That's why there's a giant plank of wood over the well in there. Because if you could get in, You could do a bunch of mid-game underground Hyrule Castle cavern type stuff. It's also why, when you go to the castle over here, talking to Haas, that the area is, well, it's guarded. The guards won't let you in. Because that's the other side of the tunnel. Hey, look, you can see underneath the feet of the soldier on the other side. That's funny. Darn, I was hoping that would be enough to get it open. How are the guards, or the search team, able to open this door? Like, how do they get it open and then close it? Is there a mechanism I'm just ignoring, or did they just pull really, really hard? I suppose it's only connected to the ground by these two little spokes per door. So maybe the friction's not that bad because it's a low surface area. Sneaky. Hello to you, Racino.
Ooh.
Yes, you can. I'm right here. I mean, I guess Zelda's still at large, but I'm leading the search for Zelda. You know, even with all the gloom everywhere, the castle is very nice looking in the daytime. Fancy stone structures, the names of which I don't know because I don't know much about architecture, embedded into the rock plateau steps going up. Slightly overgrown with moss. Gives it a natural feel despite all the stone surrounding it. It's like putting the castle here has made it more agreeable to foliage. Hey Capra, welcome to Hyrule Castle. See, like, this is what I was talking about. This is one of those guards that, like, because in here, this interior will eventually connect all the way around to that well. It's clever that they thought of that, but also inconvenient to me that they thought of that, because I would very much like to break the system. Explore more without progressing the handholdy parts of the plot. Hold on. Okay, I can't manipulate that door. Hello, other guard?
Oh. Ah.
It's a little awkward if you're searching for somebody and then you see someone that looks like the person you're searching for, but you won't put two and two together that they are the person you're looking for. Hello, soldier from Team Fortress 2.
Oh.
You are in great danger of falling off the edge there, buddy. I'm going to not startle you. I'm gonna let you have your moment and not endanger your you. Anyway, I'm pretty sure Haas is up here. I don't know how he got up there. Let's see if we can find a way up there. That, like, someone who isn't a climbing expert and is wearing a whole suit of armor would have done. Hello there. Our shields are matching.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a way up. I wonder how Haas got up there. Hudson Construction put a lot of planks of wood out here towards the side here. Might have used those to make like an incline plane up, and then it just sort of collapsed and they're stuck up there now. Or maybe something even simpler, like they had a ladder and I'm either not finding it or it fell down. Possibly into the depths below Hyrule Castle, which would be awkward and unfortunate. Also very likely that a member of Hyrule's guard would know how to open the gate, so we should explore options that let us get up there from this side of the building. Because maybe they opened the gate and then closed the gate. And that the actual way up is on this side, and the closing of this gate is basically a do not disturb sign for Haas. Imagine I come out here, maybe walk over that ramp inclined over here. Aha! We've solved it! Haas went up this staircase. I don't know why I'm so overjoyed about having solved this mystery. Just the quality of the immersion in the world has just become way more reinforced by the fact that I literally found a staircase on a building that almost anyone ever would have just climbed up the side of. But since we're looking for somebody that had to realistically get up here somehow, I think we finally found a path to do that. Now, it's not a perfect path, because this staircase goes up to what I would imagine is a wall that no longer exists. But we got our regular units up there, but very few units. But from here, it feels a lot more realistic that somebody could get up there easily. For instance, they could stand on this little ledge, then climb their body up to this platform here. This window's open, so this could be like a contact point between the groups above and below. And then you'd have to be a little bit athletic, but I think you could like jump up, grab this, put yourself up, especially if there were two people. Two people working together could climb up that. They could go up the hill here, climb up on this part. If you go over here, it's more open platform. Maybe we should work on the reverse. Starting from up here, how would somebody get down? Still, though, I think the prospect of getting up here has gotten much, much more realistic now that we've discovered that staircase. Even without accounting for, like, ladders or other materials that are simply not deployed right now. I think it's just become much easier to imagine. Much easier to believe. Hey, Haas, it's a blood moon. You probably... Actually, you probably noticed you're looking almost exactly at the moon right now. It's in your peripheral. Oh, this is gonna be wild. I've got an idea. What time is it? Current time is 10:50 p.m. according to the in-game clock. I'm going to try and cut it as close to midnight as possible, because I'm curious what happens if we're talking to Haas while the blood moon's midnight clock strikes. I assume it either pauses time, so the blood moon will happen while, like, after we talk to Haas and all that cutscene goes, or time progresses as normally, and when we're done, the blood moon will just be skipped until the next night. Kind of like how it works with going into a shrine when the blood moon courses overhead. So let's see. 25. It's currently 59 degrees Fahrenheit. As I understand, that means it is slightly colder than comfortable. If my understanding of correlations of temperature and comfort are accurate. 35. We're gonna cut it as close as we can. All right, 11:50. If it says when it says 11:55, I'm going for it. Now. Hey, Oz. Yeah, look, the blood moon like stopped happening. It's no longer as red. I did. It was like a whole major event.
Ah. Oh.
Hey, we found her. She was at her house castle the whole time. Hello.
Hmm?
Oh. Come on, Zelda, you can't do that. That's cheating. We're not allowed to teleport in the scenic route rule set. Also, where are you going?
Hmm?
Well, I mean, it's not like she could say anything to you at that distance. You were pretty far away. How loud would you have to shout in order to actually hear what Zelda's saying? And I don't think Zelda's much of a loud shouter. In my mind, when Zelda yells, it's a lot more like her words are becoming like heavily italicized instead of like bold. It's a lot more emphasized, it's a lot more intense, but it's not really more loud. It's more like an authority, commandy, like literal royalty thing, as opposed to an increase in volume. Alright, so you want me to talk to Pyrrha, huh? Wait! Go on the map. Okay! That's conclusive! Time stopped. And now Blood Moon happens right now. And so, as a result, we will get to see Zelda once again. Look, she didn't leave after only saying a word, saying nothing to us. She's saying words to us right now. I'm ignoring them because I know what she says, but check it out, Oz. We're actually getting some words. Get contradicted, huh? Good stuff. Oh! Starfall. Hold on. Ignore everything. We're gonna go see that. There it is. The light of Starfall. It seems relatively close. How far out is that? Oh, pretty far out, actually. I don't know if I can reach that in time. Especially with, like, the terrain in the way. I gotta go down cliffside. There's a river there. I don't think I can make it. So instead, I'm simply gonna head back to the castle. Well, Lookout Landing, which is not the castle. It's kind of like Pyrrha's castle. It's the castle in absentia. In that, you know, the local government needs a way to sort of administrate, even if the castle's been taken over by a very, very hostile mold. Do you think the gloom is like mildly fungal in nature? I'm running circles around you. Actually, just the one. I'm running exactly one circle around you. And given my trajectory, it was more like a loop-de-loop that had you within the loop. I'm running cartoids around you. Well, I can see why that would be a problem. You are in the middle of the rain, there's gloom, must everywhere, and also you had your hand above your head and are trying to look uphill. Doesn't make vision easy. Consider that. Consider it. I feel like I've turned into like the local enigma. I just go up to people and say vaguely confusing words of wisdom. Appreciate that. I do think that Link makes a very good sort of Hyrule enigma. He just shows up flying in on a propeller-fueled sled. Does like 7 backflips, climbs up a building, picks up a rock and throws it into a well or something, and then jumps into the well after it, and then he's just gone. I bet all of Hyrule have like individual town isolated legends, stories of like Link running into town doing something quasi insane and just leaving. But I also think there's, like, Link as a character, independent of my operations as him, for him, in his travels around the kingdom, would probably, like, sample all of the local restaurants and just food places. He'd probably be, like, a welcome regular at places, and he probably, if he were a slightly different personality than the one he is, probably make like food reviews of all the different restaurants everywhere. Because he's well-traveled, he's like a major knight of Hyrule, goes with Zelda, and Zelda's pretty involved in the operations of the kingdom's residents. They'd have to eat at the place, and if there's one character personality trait we know about Link, it's that he loves food. So I imagine they'd go to a local town. The local town person that cooks a lot of food would be like, "Hey, Princess Zelda. Hey, Link. How you doing? Have some food?" And Zelda would be all like kind and respectful. It's like, "Oh, this is the most delectable thing. I very much enjoy the local cuisine." And Link would just be like scarfing it down. So you get both, like, royal approval and also legendary hero just, like, absolutely carnally enjoying it. Okay, let's do another save just to be safe. Because this is another step in the process. I want to see if we can get that basement door open. Wait, here's the question. We can test it right now. Where's the well? Hey there, Mr. Lumber. Oh. I am. Yeah, I know it'd be a whole thing. It'd be a whole adventure. I'm trying to go in the well. Out here making me do other quest lines. I do hope that we can... Hold on, let me talk to good old Haas buddy here. Sorry, this is Scorpus. You have similar hair. Facial hair, I think. Insofar as you have facial hair, and it confused me.
Ah.
Scorpus. I'm sorry for mistaking you for Haas.
No!
Open door. Oh yeah, speaking of doors. I remember Portal True tried to get like the Guinness Book of World Records style world record for biggest door in a video game? Did they actually? Like, did they get that award? In addition, has anyone beaten that record? Either in the past, thus them not getting the award, or in the future, like someone's usurped their record. Has somebody made a bigger door? Hello and welcome to the emergency shelter. This is where they hide all the cool stuff. Look at this person. Look at this person. Cleaning their helmet. Doing some general helmet maintenance. Person's walking around. Good to see, good to see. And here we have the secret intel. A map of Hyrule. Complete with things and stuff. A drawing of Death Mountain. A drawing of, heckin', the Hebra Mountains. The Plateau River thing to Gerudo Desert. Some circles. Zora's domain is a slightly larger circle. Hang on, what's this circle about? That one makes sense. That's Hyrule Castle. There's the forest. To the immediate right of the forest? Unless that's Goron City. That. And, like, the Death Mountain-y part of Death Mountain is rendered separate to that. Could be the case. I don't know. You're the map lord. You're the expert here. Nice glasses, by the way. Wow. You even get the news in a Fallout shelter. Wait. Hold on the entire phone. Wait. There it is! While we were talking to Scorpus while they were doing the door opening animation, the well has been finished! We can finally go in. Huzzah. We did it. We're in a well. Alright, what do we do with this newfound power? Looks like this well is, well, it's obviously feeding from this underwater river thing. And it's a good sign that the well water is actually flowing. That's a good sign for its general health benefits. After all, as I understand it, still water is a little bit more dangerous for your health. It would appear that we could make more water happen. There we go. Look at this. Further into the lovely creek. I think rivers are cool. I think a lot of things are cool. I'm a certified enjoyer of things, I feel. Darn it. Oh, I guess I'll get rid of a thing. I want to keep around the feathered edge because it's got like super durability bonuses. I guess I don't need two Mighty Zonai longswords. We can get rid of this one. Do you think my tendency to litter is going to make like future research into the Zonai really confusing? Like when they come down here and get really confused as to why there's an entire pristine Zonai longsword. Am I trolling the archaeologists? I might be trolling the archaeologists. Hey buddy, check that out. I phased through this thing because I had the invisibility cap from Mario 64.
Ah.
Hello, Mont.
Ah. Ah. Hi.
Hole in the wall. Oh yeah. Right. Okay. And this is what clued me in, because this passage right here also does, like, fun underground stuff. Though, upon reflection, I feel like I was a little bit incorrect about the well upstairs system. Because it's from here, going through there, that we get into the underground castle stuff that we were blocked out of before. And the well was more so blocking our access to this room, because we gotta talk to Scorpus upstairs in order to get the door open. You know, for narrative reasons. Now we have this underground cave, and you know what? I'd say a cursory examination of the shenanigans involved is an excellent choice for our adventures today. Yeah, I hear you, buddy. I may need to invest in more hammer. Let me guess. Yeah, I sense you. Okay, there's a rusty claymore. There's a boulder. So, worst case scenario, we can make a rock out of that. Sapphire, even. Some good gemstones. Ooh, even better, we got a bomb. Now we can just blow stuff up. So the rusty claymore. Looking to find another boulder. Does this bifurcate? Are there two paths? Yep, that makes sense. Okay, rusty claymore acquired. Let's go get that rock. That's a bright cap, not a rock. There's our rock. Now we're bouldered. Very good. Very good. And there's stuff here. Maybe more rocks? Not a rock. Well, rock salt. I suppose the category of rock is kind of ambiguous or broad. I'm sure there are many things that one could consider a rock if they really wanted to. Like that here? Pretty sure that's a rock. I predicted that would happen. When you break rocks with a rock, sometimes you find that it is your rock that breaks. Claymore, there's an opal. Aha! We're getting into some of the more fierce stuff. Stand back. I have a fan of war. I forgot how this works. Come on. Gotcha. Easy. Give me your stone. Ooh. Soldier shield. I will swap it with my soldier shield. Funny how that works. Okay, so we entered from there. And now we're here. Lizard. I miss the lizard. Feels like a dead end. Interesting. What if I ascend? Oh, wait a minute. Glad I did that. Hearty truffle? That's a rarity. Doesn't solve the mystery, though. Where the heck do I go? Ah, there's a place on the other side of the lake. Silly me, did not realize. Well, guess I gotta go back down and get another claymore and rock. That's a stone. Oh, is that how they differentiate rocks for hammer and rocks for axes? The rocks for axes are called stones instead. That's a clever and convenient way to do it. Okay, got the claymore. We just need a stone. There's a rock. We did need a rock. I said stone anyway because I'm still sort of incorrectly combining the two categories. And stone is a fun word to say. Interesting, just sort of public question survey I'm asking. For those of you who have played the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe for a reasonable amount of time and number of attempts, what did you pick as your choice for the fake word you liked more? Because if I recall, I was pretty solidly in the Occuboinkle camp myself. I don't know if that was just me, but I was a big fan of Occuboinkle. To the point where I don't even remember what the other option was exactly. This is a bit of an ordeal in that I have to keep finding more swords and stones. I'm in like a Minecraft cave and I'm using stone pickaxes and then they break, so I have to stop, put down my crafting table, and make another stone pickaxe using the stone I'm mining. Fun fact, for that reason, I like to go into the abandoned mine shaft type. Minecraft caves and mine in there, because not only do you get stone, but you get wood from the scaffolding in order to make more pickaxes, so you can just keep digging. And what I like to do in those big abandoned mine shafts is like open them up, take the tunnels that are like sharing a wall and combine them such that it's like one large room, and just keep expanding until eventually the entire thing is like a weird geometric sort of encased enclosure, but like a really expansive one, 'cause it's the entire mine shaft. You can kind of see what the eventual outcome of that kind of design is for me. If you look at the exterior of the base in the Greg Tech Season 1 world, because I basically did that there. Except I didn't have a mine shaft, I just had a hole in the ground and a mountain to carve out. Ooh, that was the big one. Got a free opal from it. It looks like there's a way through here, though, into more developed territory. Hello. Tailless. Excellent, we got more claymores for more combat later. But for the immediate moment, we got another like to dislike. Interesting. Very interesting. Shield guard up plus 10% is interesting, because it means that that's not really 12, that's more like 22. I'm going to stick with what I have. Thank you for the effort. There are torches around, and I have a very strong desire to light all of them. Greaves! We got fancy pants! Check it out. We're a soldier. Alright, let's see what I can't do to set these on fire. I've got a lot of fire fruit, so we are open range to just sort of incendiate these. Normally you'd use fire fruits for something like just your general fire arrow supply, but that's not required here. I can just throw them. Ooh, baked apple. I'm willing to believe I baked a lot of these apples accidentally because I threw a fire at them. Roasted acorn. Cool, I've accidentally invented a food. Ah, there's a torch there. That'd be a convenient way to just sort of progress the fire around, but I'll just throw more fire apples. Fire fruit. Let's see here. A bed has been broken. Unfortunate. I wonder who used to reside here. This place is... I assume it's part of the emergency underground fallout shelter, but some of its design decisions are curious to me. One question, is there a second floor? Or will I simply show up in Hyrule Field somewhere? Yep, Hyrule Field somewhere. We're actually near a castle wall on the exterior. Oh, I think I've greatly mistaken which direction we're moving. We're moving towards the castle. Okay. For some reason I thought we were still going south. I don't see any more torches to light. Save for these that I've already done. And those two haven't done anything. But they could do more. This appears to be a study. What's this? A can't get a good read on it. It's a very large book. I thought all the burn marks could have been a map of some kind, but I think it is just regular writing in a very rotted out book, which is interesting. No torches in here, but there are rocks which could promote further travel. Indeed, there is something here. A claymore of some description. I will leave it. Well, we've reached an impasse. Or alternatively, you could look at it as reaching a dead end. It seems there's nothing here. Well, nothing more here. Now we take this. So I elect we head back, pick up a stone from our stone collection, and head towards the blue rocks. The blue rocks are going to be a bit tougher because they're blue. I don't know if you know this about, like, geology, but if a rock is blue, it has a stronger hardness rating on the hardness scale, whose exact name I do not recall. This is why Minecraft diamonds are so durable. It's because they are blue. Yes, some tough terrain. I think I might just have to spin. I've noticed something just now. It's interesting to me that when Link swings for a regular swing with a large weapon, he swings from right to left. But when he goes for like that big super spin, he flips it over his head and goes left to right. I think that's interesting. That was some good progress. And we got a new stone for the stone supply, so let's go over here and pick up one of these swords back here in the armory. Everything's coming together. The pieces are coalescing. We're mining. Skin! How dare you hit me? We'll fall in a puddle. It's interesting to see these guys just sitting here passively as if nothing's wrong. Like, usually they come out of the ground. I guess this is where they usually start off. Go over there. See ya. Splendid. What's down here? Aha! My insurance providers. The reason this works is you got to be very, like, subservient to your providers. You got to make sure you're bowing at all times. Got to be humble. Got to be like, they're the ones saving you from bad health care by giving you good health care. You got to be, like, low to the ground, very humble. They'll accept your, like, pleading, and they will accept and give you the health care that you so need. That's why this works. If you're too forward, you're too eager, then they'll start like throwing pre-existing conditions at you. And won't let you receive healthcare. Frog of some kind. Alright, and on this side, this is just the skeletal creatures we've already defeated in order to get to this point. Get that Moblin Horn, that's a good hammer component right there. Gives a nice solid bit of damage to whatever hammer type structure you're building out of whatever you got. A head full. Oops, accidentally got to the end of that combo. Didn't mean to, but I did. Ooh, a ruby. Wow, we're so close. I can see the other side, but we just don't have enough. This'll be enough. A smaller hammer. Free sapphire, too. There we go. A little bit of amber, random keys out here. Subsuming off of the moss for several centuries. Oop, it's like a descending spiral. Got him. I have fundamentally altered the ecosystem of this room. Oh! They got me with the oldest trick in the book. The hand buzzer, when you go to shake someone's hand. Interesting. I have a question. I would like you to help me answer this. Does this count as excavation? No. Really unfortunate. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go with the classic technique. Worked quite well. Well, I'm down a boulder. Any more rusty broadswords up here? Any rocks I can pair it with? Do I use fuse to sort of get a better visual? I could use a Moblin arm, but only once. Ah, there's a sword down there. Lock on. Actually, I'll just jump down and get it. There we go. Lovely rusty broadsword. Now we just need a boulder. Right, Cap, take that. Looking for a boulder, though. This may prove to be difficult. You would think finding a rock in a cave would not be tough. Unfortunately, it is. Who knew? Maybe there's a rock over here? Yes. We're being very resourceful. And another hearty truffle. That's a rare recipe ingredient. Well, either way, very excellent. We can now break this stone and get the luminous stone in the luminous stone. And then head down to the waters here. This is a much larger area than any seen before. What's inside? More water. Very large stone encasing in the middle. A lot of water off to this side. That's an opening to somewhere. Just a large chunk of destructible rock in the middle. A lot of rocks around, not so many rusty longswords. This area does possess the gloom. Oh, this is an irregular destructible rock. This is an advanced destructible rock. 6 hits. Yeesh. Well, I think for a rock of such intense durability, there is really only one solution. Explosives. What? Wow. Wild stuff. Oh! That ready? You're about to shoot ice at me, aren't you? Yeah, you are. Thus making ground I can stand on, kinda, sorta. I'm stuck. Alright, we survived anyway. That was a little awkward, but it worked. Ooh, ice fruit. Box. You know, I wonder if all the parts of the soldier's outfit are separated through time and space by the various different rooms like this. Nice ice. Frog. Apples? Arrows. Okay. Bit more war-oriented, this room. Interesting to me that this room in particular seems more like it was flooded. I don't know if the other rooms elsewhere have other situations like that. Let's check out the outer perimeter of this room. Because there are a lot of chambers to the side, it seems. If I were to imagine, I would say the path forward goes through the blue rocks over there. I'm thinking we organize ourselves by going opposite of that, around the edge of the room. What's up here? Wow, it's a nothing. Oh, but from this perspective, we can see very clearly that it seems like in the past, these pillars may have worked as a kind of bridge connecting this ground with that door. They had like almost an entire secret underground castle here. Up here appears to be almost a nothing, but goes up further to here, which has its own style of nothing. A different flavor of nothing. Hardy truffle. This here has a luminous stone. I stand corrected, it was actually a flint. The luminescence was actually just from bacteria on top of the rock surface. Do not get confused. Do not make my mistake. I misidentified a rock, and now I shall be shunned by the geological community. That one's the luminous stone. So now if you go back, re-look at the footage, you'll see that you'll be able to very easily identify the differences between the two and use that information on your rock identifying journeys in the future. Now that I think about it, this room is very central. I wonder if this is underneath something of similar narrative focus. Interesting. It almost seems like maybe the fountain? The fountain's pretty central. It's probably the closest analog to what's here. But it's a bit off to the left from what I was expecting. Maybe not exactly center. Let's look directly at the fountain and just... Oh. I guess we need to go back down there. Granted, it shouldn't be that difficult to get back down there. The ways forward, we've already dug through all the rocks and stuff. It's just that this is slightly embarrassing. Look at that, they're establishing solid foundations for new construction. That's cool. Walking through these doors. Hey. Great, I would love to, except for the fact that I'm pretty sure that requires me to do an inaccessible cutscene. Really tragic, that. Yeah, so this is dead north. Ooh, you can kind of like sprint into a slide. You get a little bit of your momentum kept around. Yeah, I know you're there. I just don't care. I'm satisfied with the decisions I've made. Not this way. This way. The path forward is simple and clear because it's something I've already traveled. So I am using the power of recollection to remember what I did before to do it again. I boast, but that's not really a power I have that well. I do like with how twisty and turny this place is that you kind of get disoriented. You don't really know which direction you're going. It's designed to trip you up such that the progress forward feels like you'd be going anywhere. Okay, so let's assume that the fountain is vaguely right here. Where does that leave us? I see a lot more vaguely nothing chambers. But also I imagine that there's probably some important thing in the center covered up by all the rocks that we should probably try and excavate. I theoretically want to do it vaguely centralized, so I'm going to lob one high. I think I overshot it. Oh. Oh, that's a skeleton. That's a skeleton. That's a scaleo-iton. I don't think I want to deal with this, because I'm pretty sure the Skilelio will cause problems for my health and safety. I know I'm playing hit game Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, but I'm not really a combatant, if you can believe it. Especially when I do stunts like that. You know what? I've been neglecting my legal obligations. Let me fix this real quick. There we go. Now we may proceed. Oh, you can still, like, open up a charge attack, but he just does, like, a little baby swing. Interesting. Ah, way through. A mildly brick decayed passage. Some big luminous stone deposits down here. A chamber off to the side that has some foliage blocking it. Let's chop through some of that. What are these noises I'm hearing? There we are. I suspect those are some classic horriblins in a nearby cave. Very likely one that we shall be approaching soon. Very interesting. Possibly one reached by going down here, even. I should eat a food. Especially considering I made all these baked apples I can just sort of consume in bulk. Roasted acorn as well. And I think that's settled. Let's open the bomb. Aha! This is the way to the hostiles, is it? Ooh, these seem like a hardy bunch. Let's tenderize them a bit. I missed. A boom. Hey buddies, how you doing? Get some control over their actions. Getting close to a good little slap. Just quickly solve that problem. Ooh, almost got hit by that rock. Good effort, good effort. You're gonna slap, you're gonna hurt your butt on the way down. I'm gonna hit you with this little spiky thing that I purchased at the local store. Hey, goodbye. Situation resolved. If I wasn't already full on weapons, these just extremely long sticks on a stick might be appealing. But there are other great rewards and treasures to be found down here. Like their meat supply. What else? What else? Where are they hiding? There they hiding. The treasure. Additional meat. And a box. Does the box contain meat? Very likely. Actually, very unlikely, I think. Knight's halberd. Glued to a knight's halberd. I reckon we could use something in the spear department, just for, like, solid range stuff. I will choose to get rid of the flame emitter spear because we already have a ruby scepter. Great. Good little collection of supplies. Free flint. Let's collect some more luminous stone and flint. Because I'm fairly certain you can use flint for gambling purposes, and luminous stones are reasonably valuable. I suspect the existence of these luminous stone deposits is a major appeal of this region. Like, this could have been an old luminous stone mine back in the big days of Hyrule. Gotta be a spare sword in here or something. Maybe not. In the case of this, I think I just prefer the stick. I want to put a... Wait. I solved the puzzle. Well, first off, there's rocks in here, but second, this one, theoretically more durable. Then we fuse this rock to it, and now we have a little bit of a pile to drive into stones. I think what's left for us now is to go back onto the path. There is more to seek. More to use bombs on because this is an absolute... So it does just sincerely take 2 bombs. Four hits. It's a little harder to manage the thing I'm hitting, but by using this in pile formation, I at least have a bit more control over exactly what rocks I'm hitting. The hope being that I only am hitting rocks necessary for traversal and can ignore the rest. Unfortunately, I don't have the ability to, like, more properly aim. Like, I can't make Link just, like, point up slightly. So go around this way. There we go. And plenty of bombs to replenish. Happy about that. And they're really inviting you to use them right the heck here. And I will. At least one. Stones. This must be the 3rd set of the soldier. I imagine there was going to be a like in here. Maybe some other things. Yep, little skeleton buddy. Hello, skeleton buddy. Ooh, nice stone. What's in here? A passage of some kind. We'll get to that later. Possible we'll get to it now. The broken bed. This must be a standard formation for rooms. The placement of the bed, not the fact that the bed is destroyed. So the fact they are both destroyed suggests that they were probably constructed in a uniform manner. Like it's a standardized design. Hey, Skull Boy. Ha ha ha! Now watch as I am the full soldier! Look at me, it's like I'm some kind of swordsman from Hyrule Castle. Okay, how does leave? Is the answer torch? Oh, no, so the whole back down. Okay. I suspect it's going to be another baked apple situation. Yes, this was a food storage room. Or I guess a storage room in general, because it also had knight's armor. Okay. We're back. Well, having solved the mystery of the knight's armor set, we are set and stable and ready to go. Interesting to understand our current position relative to all that is around us. We head this way, and what does that lead us to? An area above. Hello. Oh, time for sieging. I think we're in a weapon and boulder-rich environment, so I'm not too concerned about the finer details of one particular thing of mine getting destroyed. Like, look, plenty of boulders here. Probably a weapon inside here. Oh, I can put the massive boulder on it. Will that make it better at breaking rocks? I don't know. I'm doing it, though. Okay, it looks like the path moves this way. Is this like roots of a tree? Are we underneath a tree right now? Struggling a little bit to see. Struggling a little bit to fight. Oh. Path through. Ah, the final, like... Alright, we gotta move fast. This thing is a threat. Oh, that broke. Let's do the other one. Ah, darn it. I'm okay. Well, at least didn't do the lightning attack again. That was the real concern. Because then I'm dealing with like slow-moving, large, bouncing projectiles, and that's just a lot to keep in mind. Knight Shield is a good choice. I'm going to swap out the Gerudo Shield for it. I like the Knight Shield. It's nice, sturdy, good durability. Excellent for shield surfing. Here we go. Larger open passage. Some precious rocks over there. Our target. Target located. Well, we can consider this cave, quote unquote, to be complete now. Let's light the fuse. That should make vertical ascension quite a bit easier. Much appreciated. Here are the precious stone. That's some amber. Not an exciting result. But I suppose they wouldn't be rare minerals if They were common. Kinda have to give it to the people who named the stuff. We're correct. I'm a little disoriented in terms of where we are and where we have been. This is... Capra, what's an art print? Though I suppose the answer is no. Oh. Ah. Kaboom. So, you're asking me if I know how to print a piece of art? Like, I don't use a printer? I don't know. I don't have any, like, particular expertise in printing out art or printing things in general. I mean, printers are a hack to operate. Maybe, okay, I don't have the expertise you have, but if I'm thinking of people in Int who might have that expertise, maybe try asking Lark. I think Lark might have experience being an artist and I think has sold things at conventions at some point. So Lark might have that knowledge. Acela is more of a fashion lord than an art lord, so maybe not Acela. Yeah, I would ask Lark. Of the people I know, I would ask Lark. You're in the Int Discord. You can contact Lark. I believe in you. But also I can go ask at some point if you want. Deep beneath this land, our mighty first ruler imprisoned the Demon King. To ensure the king's magic would hold, we erected a castle here to protect this sacred site. Without the castle in place, the site may be disturbed, allowing the Demon King's hatred and rage to be revived. The preservation of this castle is therefore tied to the prosperity of the kingdom. May it watch over an eternal peace. Oh, hey, there's Lark. Congratulations, you are now in a conversation. My weapon broke. Ahaha. Solved. Okay, let's make a good hammer with what's here, and then we'll find maybe like a good weapon in this box, and that'll be our new combat weapon. That's not a weapon. That's a pretty violent sledge. Maybe I should have just gotten a boulder. Maybe I don't need boulders anymore. We're kind of out of the cave sector. And like maybe I could have gone and fought the big skeletal boy. Didn't seem like what I wanted to do at the time, though. I need the sledge for this one. Boom, 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 boom. Oh. Does this still legally qualify as the cave, or am I just in a building now? I don't know, I haven't seen the outside yet. I imagine this constitutes my exit, but it appears to be movable, so I can get back down even if I ascend up. So, we good. Lift up this boy up. Cool. Aha! How's it going in here? Ooh, a pot! Uncommon. We'll do the Zelda Classic. Cool. Now, if this were Breath of the Wild, I would use Cryon to get through there. Hello, what's going on here? You broke my pot! I was gonna break my pot! This is an outrage. But that was actually pretty cool. I used the pot as a sort of makeshift helmet. There's another one up here. Yeah, there is. Very good. Pianui! Hello! Welcome! I'm in Hyrule Castle. I'm not really in Hyrule Castle. I'm here. In, like, some of the outlying stonework of Hyrule Castle. Hello, Pianui. How are you doing? Welcome to Tears of the Kingdom Scenic Route. It's been almost a year since I did this. I'm doing alright. I came back to do this because, thanks to my 4-year anniversary, I reached a Twitch subscriber milestone that made me go talk to Pura. And so I talked to Pura. And now we're exploring Hyrule Castle from the caves. Because by talking to Pura, I unlocked the underground. But I didn't talk to Pura enough to unlock the paraglider, so we're still safe for the run. I will explain the rules to you. This is Tears of the Kingdom Scenic Route. The basic idea is that I'm not allowed to use the paraglider to paraglide around, and I'm not allowed to teleport using the map. So normally you just travel. I can't do that. The idea is to make the game a lot more scenic and atmospheric as we explore, and do a lot more resource and material manipulation in order to do complicated things like actually fly. So it's a lot slower, more methodical, and I'm currently lost in Hyrule Castle after uncovering it from the other side of a cave. Exciting stuff. Now, the fact that I'm refusing to get the paraglider has brought about some unintended rules self-imposed. Such as the fact that because I can't get the paraglider, and the paraglider is stuck behind the... Well, the paraglider is blocking the map unlocking quest. I can't unlock the actual detailed map terrain thing. I can't go to the towers. I also don't have the camera, which is required for many quests, because that's locked behind Robbie leaving Lookout Landing and going to the depths, which he won't do until the towers are online. Everything is just sort of compounding to make this slightly harder than I intended, but I mean, the point is we're traveling. We're going on a journey. I'm playing Death Stranding in Legend of Zelda. We just got to the other side of the cave. There's probably stuff I'm missing. Just in the heart of it all. But I made it back. I lived. And I think this is the path back to the... Yes, that's where we met with General Oz. Where am I going? Am I just crawling down into a pit? That's not what I'm here to do. I guess we could go back down, see if there's another hallway to traverse, another path to take, another future to unravel. I say, if I could remember exactly where the entrance was. Was it down here? Maybe. Yeah, that's looking like an entrance, yes. Uh-oh. Oh. Hello, Boulder. Hey! Hello. Pleasure to meet you. Here, let me just get this rock out of your way. That is going to hurt somebody if Hyrule Castle is populated right now. Fortunately, thanks to the upheaval and all the gloom and stuff, Hyrule Castle is not very populated right now. Which means that was a not as dangerous action to perform. I should eat a food. I should definitely eat a food. We got like a nice little middle-of-the-road food. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, back into this main chamber. Oh, looky over here. We have a secret recipe. Appears to be an egg, a meat, an herb, some kind of container. Curious. Most curious indeed. Right, the bow was there. Thank you, box. Moving on towards here. This is a dead end, so we can make our way backwards. But is there more in this room? There's a pot in this room. My previous pot got destroyed. So glad to have a return to pottedness. This hallway definitely just feels like a hallway. Let's head south. Caved in ground. Here's the big room with the Horriblins we fought. There's this ramp outwards, and that's a person. Hello to you. Just put that down. Hey. It is. It is. I've been lost in the aquatic mines for quite a bit.
Yeah.
In a maze, and I didn't know what to do. Hello, Nobureau.
Oh. Ah.
Yeah. It's hard to argue that this is even stealing. Because Link is sort of like the designated royal swordsman, so all these like supplies inside, they're already sort of royal property, and we are like the princess's direct guard. We have the authority to take all this stuff. Ooh. Love the Lizalfos horns for making good swords. They look cool and they're powerful. Just a nice general purpose option. This spiral staircase is huge. Oh. Assassination attempt. Gotcha. Got him. I'm good with the bows I have right now. I guess this one has more durability. I'll swap it out. What about in here? Ho ho ho! I'm gonna pick up this barrel and I'm gonna throw it at this box. Hopefully there will be a reaction that causes them both to open. Results inconclusive. Okay, new plan. Burn. Probably gonna get a lot more cooked apples. A lot of cooked something. Baked apple, toasty rushroom, roasted lotus seed. Yeah, I've just sort of cooked a lot of stuff by doing that. I have a few regrets. That probably would have been a lot better as a unified... Like, I could have cooked them together instead of separately. But no. Oh, I got both of them. I didn't expect to get both of them. Spiral down here. This is maybe where I came out originally, if this spiral staircase is the same one we were on before. Maybe here's where I exited. Because this is the plaque that we discovered upon exit. Yeah. So we've been here before. And this is the... Yeah, this is the shield I didn't take. I remember this being the shield I didn't take. So we ascended further. Getting all the way to here, where I walked out, went into the tunnels. Right. Did I? What's this? Okay, it maybe. That seems exactly like the kind of thing I would not have actually taken and still continued. Yes, I remember that hallway with its gratings. There's that ladder. Yes, this is a place I've been. I think there's not much left. We've made our way through. The last point of order might be this hallway right here. But I just went in there to get to that bokoblin at the farm. Not the farm, the cooking pot. I don't know why I called it a farm. Probably because of all the plants and food there. Then we have this. Diamond! Very valuable. You have done well to guard this place, sir. Have you also been maintaining the lanterns in here? If so, good job. I appreciate it. Oh, arrows. Just on the ledge. I guess this is an excellent archery spot for any invading hostile. If you were a soldier assigned to Hyrule's castle under siege, you would probably stand here, shoot arrows across to attack. Though, if you're doing that, just given the distances involved, you're probably attacking a hostile inside the town, which means the town's been already besieged, which means that that wall's probably been broken through and they've taken the town. But if you're doing that, I suppose that the civilians of the town could have been evacuated into the castle. And all of the buildings out here were mostly made of wood. A tragedy, yes, but they can be rebuilt. They can be reconstructed. Hope can prevail. I did not mean to activate your lightning thing. I'm sorry. I just wanted to pick up the spot. I guess it is sort of a very dire thing when any, like, town, village, civilization is put under attack by an invading force. Serious, serious stuff. All right, this is the room with the... this, yes it is. Can we lift, please? Why am I going through the effort of using recall so I can bring the pot in? Ah, darn it. I didn't expect the pot to break when I undid time rewind. I should have just let it drop naturally. Hey, Mr. Soldier Guard, you still holding the fort? Yeah, I was in there. There's a lot of hostiles. We've lost a lot of good people here. I'm designating that pot an honorary Haniwa. Noble, honorable, ceramic soldier. Especially that one that, like, took a rock for me. That one fell in the line of duty. That one's a hero. I like these little stories that we make together. I bet you lost a lot of good soldiers in your fights too, haven't you? Leading the Gerudo in the desert, invaded by all the weird zombie things. Being a leader of people in a time of crisis is a great responsibility, a great burden. It's tough. It's tough. But it has to be done for just keeping anything intact, to preserve something. I'm Exception. This isn't TV. Have a good day. And good night.